It's over. Welcome back, Chargers. It's Anshul with Supercharged. Oh yeah, we found a new name for the fan base. Thanks for being around, y'all. So I just finished commencement, and I have way too many feelings. I need to put it out there. For those of you that don't know, I've been an engineer at UCLA for the past 4 years. I've loved it. It's been one of the most incredible times of my life, and I couldn't have asked for a more perfect experience. It's come with its highs and its lows. So I wanted to take you all through a little bit of my own UCLA experience, and talk a little bit about how UCLA and engineering helped shape who I am. Also, to just give anyone else who's thinking about college or going to college soon a little glimpse of what life is like. A little bit of a disclaimer before we start the video. I was never really that kid that cared a lot about school. It's important, and I completely recognize that a 4.0 GPA and grad school is the goal for a lot of people. But it just wasn't for me. My life motto has always been experience everything that you can at least once. This video is from that lens, a look into the life of balancing clubs and friends and family and school and even just LA and what that looks like. Advice, in my opinion, is incredibly hard to give. It's one of the most personal things. It's a very intimate journey into who you are. This is just who I wanted to be and who I became. But if you resonate with any of it, I'm happy. I'm going to be talking about each of my 4 years here and a little bit of advice for how they felt and how to deal with the things that come up in college. If you want to hear my advice about college in general, head to this timestamp over here to check it out. Freshman year. I remember I came in and I just wanted to be friends with everybody. I was loud, annoying, obnoxious, and honestly, not much has changed. But it was also a little lonely. The transition is honestly so difficult, and I know everybody tells you that, but when you get dropped off at the dorms and you have all your stuff and you've left everything you've ever known, it feels real. To deal with this, I joined as many clubs as I could, just to meet more people. I joined some clubs for my resume, Bruin Entrepreneurs, UCLA's largest entrepreneurship club, and I joined LA Hacks as an organizing member, the best hackathon in all of California. Sorry, Cal Hacks. But I also joined stuff for fun, like doing film sets with the Film and Photography Society, or dancing with Bruin Bunga. School felt scary and intimidating, but honestly, the people were incredibly welcoming. There were people I'd known for just weeks or months who I felt like I had known for years. I don't necessarily see all these people on the day-to-day at the end of these 4 years. I don't necessarily keep up with all of them, but the ones I do have become my best friends. Like my roommate, George, who's been living with me for the last 4 years. Yeah, I've been living with all of that. 4 years. 4 years. Loneliness was hard, but the college classes were a whole nother beast. I was talking to a parent of a potential UCLA student the summer after my freshman year, and I remember she casually mentioned how her daughter wasn't gonna have any problem with the classes. Trust me, I took every AP class I could, honors when I couldn't, and nearly got a 4.0. Why'd you give me that B, Mr. Newell? But these classes still kicked my butt. The way I approached these classes was the same way that I approached my classes in high school. I just kind of figured that it would all work out. That's also the reason why I got my first D on a test ever, and the panic attack that came after that was not cute. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is take these classes seriously. It doesn't matter how smart you think you are, or the prestige of the university that you go to. Higher education is intense, and it's meant to challenge you. This year, you'll be taking a ton of really seemingly random classes. A lot of intro classes like linear algebra or physics in motion. And not a lot of that directly pertains to computer science. But trust me, at the end of 4 years, you will really understand why those classes are so important. Looking back now, I appreciate that foundation that those classes gave me in a way that I wish I did when I was a freshman. Above all that, I realized that so many of my peers were already looking for internships the minute we got on campus, when I didn't know what an internship was until late in winter quarter. I felt so behind and barely managed to get one the last few weeks of spring. when all of my other friends had already signed their offers in the fall. But realize this is normal and completely okay. Even not getting an internship is honestly still fine. Try to find one if you can, but it really isn't the end of the world if things just don't work out. Freshman year is one of the wildest, weirdest, dumbest years. You're gonna look back and cringe no matter what you do. I know I do every day. So put yourself out there. You don't need to know what you want to do. You're a freshman. You're not supposed to. But you sure as hell need to try. My high school band teacher, Mr. Boytz, used to always call sophomores wise fools. Sophos is the Greek word for wise, and moros is, well, the Greek word for moron. This honestly could not be more true. I thought I had everything figured out at this point. I had a closer group of friends, I started taking more responsibility in my clubs, and I'd finally learned how to study better. I started hosting events for Brute Entrepreneurs, got more involved in organizing for LA Hacks, even got more involved in mentoring younger students through our engineering's mentorship program, Mentor Cs. A few of my friends and I wanted a bigger creative outlet, and so we started Creative Labs, a club that allows students to have some structured projects every quarter to just get creative about and start building new things. But through all of this, I started to lose myself in the grind. I was focusing more and more on each new accolade and title and award, and I started to forget the reason why I was doing these things anyway. For someone like me, it's all too easy to get caught up in the things that I'm passionate about and maybe just take on too much. But that was also a good learning experience to find out what I value and what I want to put my time into for the rest of college. Sophomore year is the year when college starts to feel like home. I felt that with Brute Entrepreneurs, Creative Labs, and LA Hacks. It's important to remember not to lose yourself in the work you could be doing. Focus on who you are. This is the year to find out what you're really passionate about. After all that, junior year was honestly one of my lowest points. After taking on so many more responsibilities and titles, I couldn't handle it well. I became the president of Brute Entrepreneurs, one of the directors for LA Hacks, got way more involved with Creative Labs, and even started a bunch of new initiatives that I cared about, like 1,000 pitches. The classes started getting very specific to the major, and they started getting a lot harder. Who needs to build a router from scratch? Everything I was doing was great, but in the process, I started to care more about my things and started letting myself go to the wayside, and I started feeling depressed. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough, but going through it is part of the reason why I love this school. UCLA is truly a school of optimists, and in my darkest hour, I found people that cared about me and proved it to me over and over again, no matter how many times I doubted myself, and showed me I needed to care about myself too. Look, I'm not saying that every college student is going to be depressed, and I'm not saying that it never happens either. Stress is a part of college. There are going to be times when things get scary and overwhelming, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Stress is letting you know that you're at your boundaries and that you can push even further, safely. The support system I built for myself over those 2 years came in clutch here and reminded me that I shouldn't keep doubting myself, and that caring about myself was just as important as pursuing my passions. Find the people that care about you and that will be there when you need them, and make sure that you care about them and that you're there when they need you. Whew! And now we're at the end of it all. Senior year. This year has been incredible. After accomplishing everything that I did and everything I wanted to, I had still burned out. I left my responsibilities in all of the clubs that I had joined and decided to only focus on things that I wanted to. Really? Best decision I ever made. Leaving everything forced me to reconsider why I did what I did. Why am I taking this class? What is this teaching me? Why am I a part of this club? Why am I learning CS? What do I want to do? I started building more, made a new app, ran a couple of events, or just making memories with the people that I love most. That's actually how this channel started. It was just an idea that me and my friend Natasha were just talking about, and here we are now. Senior year is difficult, and it'll have its highs and it'll have its lows. Some boredom and a lot of anxiety about the future. But trust me, it'll feel like you leveled up in a video game. Things will come easier. Things that used to paralyze you when you were a freshman feel like they're a breeze now, and you'll feel like you own the school. Enjoy it, and look back fondly at all the times that you came through. Everything you've done and the people that you've met. It's your time to live it, so do it. As I'm leaving and saying these last goodbyes, I've been trying to think of a way to wrap everything up into a nice little piece of advice. You see, there's a question that I've been thinking about a lot. A question I believe each of us has to confront at some point. I mean, this question comes from parents, from family, from friends, from dogs, from billboards, and from every piece of media we ever consume. That question is, what do you want to do? Your life right now probably seems endless. I chose to do engineering because the actual limitless possibility, being able to build giant skyscrapers or life-saving medical devices, or even the next privacy-breaking social media app, these are all the challenges that we've subscribed to. I mean, if you go to UCLA, you're getting a degree from the #1 public university after all. With this much opportunity, it seems that we can build literally anything. But the question still nags. What do you want to do? Honestly, I think answering that question is a trap in and of itself. Every movie, story, article always tells us the same thing, that things end, and when we do, we want them to go out with a bang. But life just doesn't work that way. Just like there was a day after you got into college, there's gonna be a day after graduation. It's easy enough to meet that day with another simple question. What do I do next? Only to start an ever-growing list of generic to-dos, checklists, and goals that we all want to complete until we're gone. As engineers, we're exceptional at breaking down the discrete steps, telling ourselves that once we reach that final goal, we'll finally be happy. The mindless journey of reaching goal after goal is unending. The question I want to ask you today instead is, why do I do what I do? Why is a much, much harder question. It requires us to dig deeper within ourselves than we're normally comfortable with. When faced with the why, we assume that it's been answered by our what. Example, I want to be an astronaut, so that's why I'm studying to be an engineer. By ignoring the question, we disrespect ourselves, placing our energy into false objectives that don't truly fulfill us. There are some I've met in college, and maybe some of you that are watching this, that started pursuing engineering because, frankly, you felt pressured, whether it be by your family, or the money, or just what society tells us a good engineer can be. These are real influences, ones that I know I've personally experienced. My dad was a mechanical engineer and the head of a construction firm. My mom, a biomedical researcher on the Human Genome Project. I was born and raised in the Silicon Valley. STEM felt more like predestination than choice. But for me, I didn't fall in love with CS because I loved bits and math and circuits that much. I like it, but it wasn't the hardcore understanding of computer science as a research field that drew me to it. It was the possibility to make anything that I wanted and to help people that obsessed me. I was lucky, and I found that early and worked for 4 years to make as much as I could and learn as much as I could about making. That's what I want you to find. You're going to hear a lot of very specific words about college. They can be from well-meaning friends, family, previous teachers, and even from strangers. These words take the shape of potential and opportunity and success. These words are important and honestly well-deserved. Yet these words don't force us to find the cause for the potential, or the opening for the opportunity, or the reason for that success. I'm not here to help you find your why. That's an incredibly personal and intimate journey for you alone. And I'm not here to preach at you pretending that I know all of the secrets to the known universe. But if you're at the end of your high school career, wondering what to do about college, or if you're in college right now and just feel lost, find out why you do what you do. Then find your what, and follow that with all your heart. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. It's been an incredible journey through these last 4 years. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about what the future holds. But I also couldn't be more excited. And I'm still a little confused about that. Don't forget to like this video and comment down below if you have any advice you want to give or questions you have or advice you're looking for. I'll do my best to help as much as I can. Subscribe down below if you want to keep seeing more from me and more from this channel, and I'll see y'all real soon. Say something.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.